Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twillow Talk.
Let's hear it.
Someone's got it open on their screen. Welcome to Twillow Talk.
Let's hear it.
Someone's got it open on their screen. Someone's got it open on their screen. Someone's got it open on their screen.
I don't hear anything anymore.
There we are. Okay. So sorry.
I'm like, I don't know if this is just me or if it's the technical difficulties, but I'm like, I'm not hearing anything and I can see your mouth move.
Yes, there we go. Did you? Okay. We're good now, right?
I don't hear it anymore.
Okay, good. So I'm Janice Coughlin from the Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy. And I'm joined today by my co-host, Jennifer Tchaikovsky. Hey, Jen.
Hey.
And we have a special guest today. We have Carolina Grace on today. So welcome, Carolina. We're looking forward to hearing about what you do. Oh, one moment.
Hear what you're saying.
We're looking forward to hearing about what you do. Yeah. Oh, one moment. So, Carolina, you have something open in the background on your computer. So just close everything except the tab that has StreamYard. So while she's working on that, Jen, do you want to tell people what you do?
Yeah, sure. I was going to say about transits, but I can tell you what I do too. So I am a registered psychotherapist, a certified Canadian counselor, intuitive life coach. I do the energy work stuff and, whatever other stuff the guides are saying to get to it.
Awesome. And we both teach with the Twillow Lifestyle Academy as well. And looking forward to a new season coming up. We're working on some great new, what do we call them? Programs, I guess, to go forward with. And so we're looking forward to that. And let's say hello to a few people while we're sorting things out. So, hey, Kaylee, thanks for coming on. And we have Hypnocity. Hi.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. So we've got some stuff going on again in our other. We have a Schumann resonance today of 45, and we've had a few solar flares. We had Saturday, we have 2 of them that were X class, and we've had a bunch of M's again in the last 48 hours, and so that's pretty interesting. And let's give that a try and see if we're better then with Carolina here. How are we doing now?
Yes, I've just closed about 200 tabs, so we should be okay.
Perfect. Yes, you're great now. Awesome.
I'm just praying I'll open them again later.
That's the joy of history.
History, yes. Check out your history.
Awesome.
All of us have done that, by the way. All of us have done
We've all done it.
There's a reason I wear headphones now.
Oh, dear.
Beautiful.
Such is life.
Yes.
So,
So
would you
tell
like me
us about
to?
you. Yeah,
A
please.
little bit. Little
Where are
bit.
you from? Where are
Okay.
you from and what do you do?
Sounds like I'm on a panel show on a TV.
You
So
kind of are.
I'm a galactic who landed landed on this planet many moons ago, but currently located in the UK. So I've been traveling. I'm a bit like, I call myself a doppelganger for Santiago and the Alchemist. You know how he went off on his travels around the world trying to find his treasure? Well, I did too. And of course, it's only when you're gathering all your treasure along the way that you realize, in hindsight, that all those dramas and disasters and deserts and oceans that you nearly drowned in and couldn't find any water in the deserts, they were the things that you actually brought home to your tribe. It wasn't what you thought you were looking for. So I traveled around the world trying on a range of different professions before coming home and realizing that I'd worked out that my calling was to work in the leadership field, because leadership was really, 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 there is a word for it, bad, but it wasn't the word I was thinking of. So I focused after that to find new ways of how could we actually work and improve leadership and bring in more of the servant leadership style. And I went into leadership coaching for 20 years. But having been ejected so many times from the corporate world because I kept standing up and trying to make a difference, and I then found myself creating my own work. And being on a spiritual journey, of course, we know that we're shifting from the old 3D world into the higher frequency 5D one, and that the new one will be sourcing through our heart versus our head for the old paradigm. So I created Heart-Led Humanity, which is about bringing forward the new heart-led role models across all areas of society. And I'm just about to pilot a new program called Sacred Bridgewalkers, which is about bringing forward the new conscious 5D embodied leaders as way showers and guides, transitioning humanity across the bridge from the old world to the new. So that's it in a nutshell.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah. So Jen and Carolina just met. So they're just hearing about what each other does. So it's exciting. It was fun to see that.
But we were on a similar spacecraft many eons ago, it would appear.
Yes. Sounds like it. Possibly the same one.
Yep. I would think. Does that resonate with you, Jen?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're going to have a time of connection.
Yes. Awesome.
Reconnection, I guess I should
Reconnection. Exactly. Beautiful.
Look forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
A big hello to Carla. Hey, Carla. Thanks for joining us. And to Leah. Hey, Leah.
Hello.
Thank you for coming on. Good to see you all here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
thanks
Jen,
for sticking it out through getting
our
ourselves
techies
sorted and all that kind of stuff and starting a little late, but it's a good day to be on together and I'm super excited about it.
It is. It is.
So
do you want to let us know what's going on with the transits, Jen?
Let's do that.
For the human design. So keeping in mind this is human design, not astrology.
Yeah, the interpretations are different. The transits are the same, but the interpretations are a bit different. So as of 2 days ago, the 1st, we moved into the 35th gate, or the 35th gene key. And we're going to be there until the 7th. So we're only just kind of in the midst of it. And this one is about change, right? It's about adventure. It's about the emotional journey. So here you go. Here's the card for it. Right. And this is a gate of progress. And so when we're looking at it, from a human design perspective, the themes here really are about, that desire for new experiences. What, kind of change or adventure is going to come in. And the Gene Keys looks at this with the shadow of hunger, moving us to the Siddhi of boundlessness through the gift of adventure, right? So can we really kind of step into that place of, recognizing when that hunger shows up, right? That deep restlessness, that craving for new experiences. And, is that energy leading us into a place of feeling dissatisfied, right? To feeling empty, or to feel like, we can't, no matter what we're doing, this, if we're bringing in this like constant activity or constant change, it's just not satisfying. Right. So we want to take this energy, the shadow energy of hunger, and move it into a place of adventure. So can we bring about the gift of embracing life, right? This sense of wonder and excitement, seeing every experience as an opportunity for growth and learning. There's such a piece here about fulfillment that is really important, because we talk about this, right? It's about the journey. It's not about getting to that point at the end, because once we get there, we have another journey. So it really is
no end result.
The fulfillment of and the joy from the journey itself. Right. And so that hunger comes in when we're just like, we're grasping for these outcomes. But if we can bring in that sense of adventure, it leads us to that boundlessness, right? Anything's possible. Right. So this game.
Sorry, Jen, isn't that what they call the hero's journey?
Yeah.
But they're really friendly, because they're teaching us so much along the way.
Yeah. And it's such a beautiful, a beautiful thing to be able to bring all of these different aspects together. Right. And to recognize that each time we transition from one to another, it is a whole new adventure.
Indeed.
And what we can gain from all of this is boundless, right? This ability to, to step into an experience for the sake of that experience, and allowing it to be whatever it is and unfold however it's meant to unfold. Right? It's the mind that says it has to be this, or it has to be that, it has to look like this, or it has to look like that. And we can get really caught up in it. And so, can we allow ourselves to, be in a moment and see what we can do with it without getting overwhelmed by possibility, but also not needing to make it a certain way. Does that make sense? That's really this energy.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting. And how long is this transit?
Until the 7th.
The 7th. Okay, so 4 days. Not too bad. So is there anything in there about all of the planets? Is that what this is about? Because there's like 6 planets that are all lined up at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with them all lined up, what I could do is I could actually open the calendar for the human design and see what that puts everything. Because if everything's going to line up in the same transit, that would be a really interesting thing to notice. So while you're telling us about the other energies, I'll take a look at the calendar really quick and see where we're at.
Okay, cool. So what I should do then is pull this up so we can take a look at it. Pull up my shared screen. One moment, guys. Here we are. There we go. You can see here, it's been a busy day. We've got some spikies going on here in the Schumann resonance. We're up at 45, keeping in mind our baseline is 7.8 hertz. This is 45 hertz, so we've got some elevated stuff going on here. And then we've also got our M class here, right? And then on Saturday, we had 2 X class. So that really ends up bringing in a whole lot of light for all of us, which is lovely. That is what's bringing in all of the energy coming through from the galactics and the universe to create our ascension process. So all of that is happening for us, not to us. What have you noticed, Carolina? lately? Is there anything that sticks out that you've heard from clients or from friends or in terms of trends?
I think that a lot of people are feeling, there's a lovely English word that's discombobulated.
I
I
love
don't know
that
if you're
word.
familiar.
I love that word.
I do too. It's they're feeling like they're not quite themselves. Things don't add up. They're going to their heads. They're trying to work out what's going on, and maybe need a little bit of a prompt to sink into their bodies, ground themselves, and to connect with their feelings and through the heart. So that's one of the key things that I'm noticing.
Yeah, I think grounding is definitely a key ingredient for right now. Making sure we can stay grounded. We were talking about that a little bit earlier in terms of you're feeling grounded, and that's a great thing because a lot of people aren't right now. I'm having trouble staying grounded. I know that's something that I work at. And we've got some funny comments going on, so I'm a bit distracted by that, but it's the grounding is important right now with all of this energy. And I'm just going to say hello to a couple more people here. We've got Rose Waters, who's actually my cousin. So, hey, cuz. Well, like a second cousin, but yes. And then we've got Fogo Pogo, so Kaylee saying so much energy. And Hypnocity is agreeing. Yeah. And Leah's talking about the parade in planets.
Yeah.
How
So
we
it
doing,
looks
Jen?
like, is that the 6th that's happening?
I thought it was today, but it might be the 6th.
Is it today?
I
This
don't
is
know.
the new
Okay,
moon, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not lined up today. On the 6th, we've got the sun and the Venus is in the same gate. Sorry, hold on, let me look. Am I saying the 6th or the? Yeah, so from Venus is in the same gate from today. Okay, so all the way
Yeah.
through.
Okay.
And then we've got so Jupiter and not yet, but then Jupiter is going to align also with Mercury. So they're going to be in the same gate as well, but that's not the same as the sun. So they're lined up visually, but they're not specifically lined up astrologically according to
Right.
the chart.
So, and that's the human design piece. So if we look at this is one that's going along. So this is June 3rd, Rare Planet Parade, aligns Jupiter, Mercury, Uranus, Mars, Neptune, and Saturn. So for lots of expansion energy, right? Lots of change, heightened optimism, clearer communication, increased motivation. We can all use that. That's awesome. Sudden breakthroughs, increase in signs, synchronicities, wild dreams or vivid dreams, resurfacing memories, epiphanies, deja vus. So those are all definitely symptoms, signs and symptoms of the ascension process as well, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting, right? Because Mercury is entering Gemini, right? There is this communication, right? And you think about Gemini's energy, right? And it's bum, 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 bum. And then you think about, this idea of Mercury, and it's all about communication. And so it's really like, okay, how can I get this message out there? How can I be really clear about it? How can I have fun with it? Right. So that's now, but then, tonight Mercury and Pluto are going to trine, which emotions coming in, right? Pluto's all that transformational energy. So now words being this kind of gateway for bringing these emotional awareness forward and making sure that we say what we mean, right? And that we're clear about what we say and that we mean what we say, and recognizing, the power of words when it comes to emotions and things like that. So, as we come through the week, there is going to be this unfolding that happens. So we're going to go into, tomorrow's energy, and it's about, bringing creative energy forward. So in line with what that's saying, right? This, can I communicate again? Remember, this is all Mercury stuff happening right now.
Yeah.
Can I communicate and boost the energy, right? Can I compliment a stranger? Can I smile and have a good day? And just bringing that positive energy forward and creating what we want in our experience. And it's so neat because we're looking at the 35 and we're really focusing on it's about the journey, not the destination. So as I'm journeying, can I create this energy in my experience that brings about what I want to experience?
So is that the embodiment?
Mm-hmm.
And can I own up? I'm a Gemini.
Me too. There's definitely something.
I knew you guys had to meet. So I am
You
not.
too.
I am a Leo.
When was your birthday? Jen,
The
when were
20th.
you? Ah, I just had mine.
Oh,
Saturday.
happy
Happy
birthday.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I'm
everything you
surrounded
were
by
saying,
Geminis.
We're the bookends of Gemini.
I'm surrounded by Geminis because Jacqueline's a Gemini too. Jacqueline's another one of the teachers with our school, and she teaches yoga and stuff. So we're surrounded.
Hey,
It's a good sign. It's a
takeover.
good sign. We like it.
Twinsies.
She says it's a baddish kind of joke. And welcome, Bora Bora. Thank you for joining us. Great to see you.
Welcome. All right.
So we usually what we do is oh, there, she's saying hi to you guys too.
Hi.
Usually what we do is we pick a card and then we talk about the topic.
All right, what do they have for us? All this communication energy and having some fun with it. What is it? Oh, I guess it's that one.
That one. That's the one.
Oh, wow. This is a heavy one. Okay.
Uh-oh. We're in for a ride, Carolina.
Yeah.
On whom am I placing blame right now?
Oh, that is a heavy one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a person who blames others has not begun their lesson. A person who blames themselves has begun the lesson. A person who blames no one has finished their lesson.
Fascinating.
Today's soul action, take responsibility. On whom are you placing blame right now? Today, free yourself by releasing all victimhood, blame, and resistance. They don't belong where you are going. Only love and courage live there. Make a choice to do it, even if you don't feel ready. Listen to your heart. You will be led.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all about that's very much, it makes sense that it's on while you're on here, Carolina.
Yeah, heart led.
Yeah, for sure. Not blaming, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love that, right? That's very much, what you were saying you do, and what we do is this. Can I move from a place of heart-led knowledge, of understanding what my truth is, and letting that be my guide? And there really is no place for blame in that.
Mm-hmm.
And in the old world, in the 3D world, of course, it's about polarities where you will judge. You will, is it this extreme or this extreme? Where are we on the spectrum? Whereas, of course, in the higher frequencies, it's all unity. So there is no space for the blame.
Yeah, it is true. Yeah, I mean, blame is also one of those lower vibrational frequencies, right? Mm-hmm. So when we want to step into the higher dimensions, we need to step out of those lower frequencies. Mm-hmm. But blame is also about fear, right? We blame somebody else because we're afraid of the consequences. of whatever's going on.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or we blame ourselves. We're afraid of rejection, or we're afraid of,
Yeah.
putting that on.
But it's so easy. Sorry, Jen. But it's so easy, isn't it? When you're in the spur of the moment, we default, when we're anxious or frustrated or upset, or basically the fear, we default to what we've always done because it's easy, comfortable, and that's what we've always done. So it is easy to fall into the trap of something like blame or equivalent when we're feeling not ourselves. But then it's a question of catching ourselves and doing a quick recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I recently, sorry.
It's okay, go ahead. You have a little, just to let you know, there's a bit of a delay.
Yes,
So,
I'm noticing, because when I move, and then I see myself move, and I think, oh, that's interesting.
That's why it seems a little chalky and it feels like we're interrupting each other. But
no, I recently had to rehome a dog, and I knew instinctively that it was the right thing to do, but it hurt so much, and it didn't work out quite the way that my brain wanted it to. My human ego wanted to see this happy ending, and it wasn't like that. And there were moments where, blame wouldn't be quite the right word for it, but guilt wouldn't be too far off, in terms of thinking, did I do the right thing? Even though I knew I did, I still defaulted into that moment of, I don't like the outcome. So what negative qualities can I attribute to myself as a result?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, when really, I mean, it's all lead, right? We all have the soul contracts to do these things. And so that was something that was already in a soul contract. So it was bound to happen.
But despite the intellectual understanding or understanding of these things, I think we have to be kind to ourselves and know that we're living through tumultuous times. And then one small thing, the least thing that's going on, I mean, in this case, it was fairly large, but just the tiniest thing can crack us open and take us back to where we've come from. And then we just have to say, well, yeah, I just have to be kind to myself and know that that's a normal thing that can happen. And what's the nicest thing I can do to myself now to move myself forward? But I did that for 2 times.
Well, and that's the piece, though, is that we don't have the capacity to move into self-compassion. And what do I need to do for myself if we're caught up in blame?
Yeah, true.
Right?
That's right.
Whether it's blame for the other or blame for self. If I'm blaming myself, I don't deserve compassion. I'm not going to take care of me. Right? If I'm blaming the other, I'm just a victim here. So there is this kind of wall that goes up when blame is present that doesn't allow us to bring in that self-compassion and really take care where we need to, or to move in a place that, is correct for us at that moment.
It's really, that is a big component of pulling yourself out of that drama triangle, right?
Yeah.
So the drama triangle states that you're playing either victim, villain, or hero, and you could be playing all roles all at the same time for different people, depending on the perspective, right? And so all of those include blame of some kind, right? External blame, even in those cases, mostly, right? So that's, if we can pull ourselves out of the drama triangle, we can make some headway with that one. Not always easy.
And for me, I absolutely agree. And for me, I think it's about giving ourselves the gift of space to come into awareness. Because as I was sharing with you earlier, Tanya, sorry, where am I getting that from? It's too late over here.
It's okay.
It's the simple thing is, where are we at one moment in time? If we can just connect into our heart, draw a breath and say, I'm not feeling good. Which frequency am I in right now? Oh, let's take a guess. If I'm not feeling good, chances are I'm in the old frequency, the 3D one. Or what can I do to make myself better and go into the other frequency? So for me, it comes back to this simple thing about what tools do we have that when we're feeling out of control, unhappy, blaming ourselves as an example, what can we do to bring ourselves back into the present moment so we make a conscious choice? This is where I am. Where do I go from here?
Yeah, and we've got to, and we were talking about that this afternoon in terms of it really does boil down to that simple choice, right? Where do we want to be? And then creating that for ourselves in terms of that, or at least in our understanding. I think it's easier if we look at things in that perspective, not always easy to bring it into being necessarily and ground it in, just because of everyone's programming and stuff. But it really does, as you say, become that simple perspective about 3D, 5D, or head and heart.
And if we can create that space, just give ourselves a moment to come back into the present, connect, breathe. I use an exercise of breathing through the heart, very simple, 4 breath in, 4 breath out. I'm sure everybody knows that one. And then in that moment, when we're in 0 point, we're in the quantum field, when we're back into that point of the full present moment, then we have the space, potential space, to choose who we want to be. It's not easy. Nobody says it's easy, but we've got the tools. We can keep practicing until it becomes easier, I think.
Yeah.
That's one of those things. That's one of those things that's simple, but maybe not easy to do.
I say that all the time. Simple, not easy. Well, it's interesting too, even reflecting it back to the energy that we're in right now, because it is this energy of I feel, right? And so it's that victimhood of change, but there's a piece here about emptiness. And when we think about blame, right, there's an emptiness that comes with that. There's this feeling of I don't have, or it's not good enough, or it's not what it's supposed to be, or it's not fair, or it's not, right? There's this energy around it that is encompassing a lack of some kind. And so it's a really interesting thing too, when we're thinking about frequency, when we move into that place of lack, right? Richard talks about this as like from wormholes to miracles, right? Like being caught up in that place of just spinning and all. And can we move from that? And so taking blame just out of the equation, right? Experience for experience sake. I'm having an experience. This experience is making me feel a certain way. Okay, what do I want to do with that? Right? I have choice. I don't have to just react to it.
And who do I choose to be? And it's not even about doing, it's about the beingness, because we're moving from head to heart. And whenever we get caught up in anything negative, we're coming from our head and we're coming from the old way. So for me, it's this, and I was saying to Tanis earlier how I kind of think it's a bit too simplistic, but for me, it's like head old way, heart new way, positive new way, negative old way. Is it expanding? Oh, it's the new way. Is it constricting? It's the old way. It just, for me, I just think, well, where am I in this moment of time? Am I an expansion, contraction, head? Am I thinking? Am I trying to fix it? Or am I feeling my way to what feels aligned? And I've been practicing this, as you can tell, for a few years now. So it kind of shouts at me. And I would really love for other people, for it to shout at them, because it then becomes much more easy. Even if you choose to stay in blame for a bit longer because it feels good and you want to be there, you know that you have that choice about who do I need to be next. Oh, I'll go into something nice. I'll go and play with the dog or the cat or the children. You notice I put the dog and the cat ahead of the children. Sorry, it's just me.
You guys have a love for animals, both of you. So you both have. Well, Jen's got 4 dogs, and you have 3.
I have 4 dogs.
You have 4 dogs as well. So you both have 4 dogs. There you go.
I think it was the same family escaping in the pod there.
Sounds like it.
Fortunately, they're all asleep at the moment because it's bedtime.
Good.
Oh, nice.
We should say hello to Sonia here. Hello, Sonia.
Hello.
Nice of you to join us. And her comment is that she's just started to stop victimizing herself. It's beautiful. Yeah, that's great. You know, we start to peel away the layers that we've experienced, right, as in our childhood. And we start to make these different choices for ourselves when the awareness comes. Frequencies are fascinating. So the other day I heard a story of a man who, while on meth, was told to do something that would harm him and others. It's as if a lower vibrational being got into his, I can only see that part. Let me see if I can see that. Oh, it doesn't show me any more than that, actually. Yeah. So, I mean, there is a lot of that going on right now, these lower vibrational frequencies, and they are affecting us. So we have to make the choice, right? I think every day we make the choice. Do we choose love? I choose love. We choose love. It's kind of an ongoing thing, right? And hello, Estella. Welcome. We do have a new freedom, indeed.
When it comes to, you know, vibration, vibrational energies, I think it is important when we talk about like collective consciousness and all of that. And the goal is to be raising that frequency on a collective level. But we have to recognize that not everybody is quite there or ready to do that or willing to do that just yet. And we're all on our own journey. And so it's a really hard thing to go, okay, I recognize that this is, you know, where we're heading, but I also recognize that there's a lot that still has to happen in order for it to collectively fully move in that direction. And then there are things that, you know, can still hold space for a lot of that lower vibrational frequency in experience. And so just kind of recognizing the role that we play in our own experience and what am I holding space for.
Mm-hmm. And oftentimes that's a subconscious thing. It's not even something that we're really conscious that we're doing. You know, I think that happens a lot too. And that goes back to the programming. We're programmed to think about something in a certain way. And that could be what we're holding on to, is that programmed response. And so until we start to really excavate and find out what those programs are that are mired in the 3D, you know, it's harder to make the choice. So Rose Waters says it was from a Netflix docuseries. Roped into a cult. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a challenge, that one. Indeed. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Feel better soon.
Yeah. It's so interesting when you reflect on, you know, this energy too, because I think that if we allow ourselves, you know, we talk about the power of even just words. Right? And we've talked about this with Emoto and the, you know, the water theory with this, you know, frozen water and the crystals and all that. And just this piece of, you know, every word has meaning. Every word holds a vibrational energy. And so even just noticing, like, yes, we're talking about a really hard topic, right? We can feel the shift in the energy.
Yeah.
But it is an important piece to recognize if this is coming up in our experience so that we can release it. Right. And I think that sometimes we get into that place of, I don't want to go there, or I don't want to think about that. But some, you know, I love the idea of we have to be able to really embrace the shadow in order to move through it and release it. Right. We can't just deny it and hope it goes away, because that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. And Sonia says our words and thoughts are very powerful. Absolutely. You know, they're spells, really. That's what our words are. They're spells. That's why they talk about that. And you know, go ahead.
And I've been creating a bit of a lexicon of new words. So taking an old word and making it into a new word. I mean, in the same, I think I've used this word several times with you, Tannis, inner standing as opposed to understanding, because our world shifts when we shift our inner world.
That's right.
And one of the ones that I'm using in the work field is busyness for business, but be isness for when we're bringing our spiritual energies to our work, our sacred work.
I just need the hearts for that. That's like I love it.
So one of those came out for us on Twillow Talk actually not too long ago, and Kaylee's bringing it forward. Courageous. So it's about being courageously creative. Is courageous. Yeah. It's a bit of a Freudian slip that I made, but it came out and it kind of stuck.
I use the word, you know, the French word for heart is cœur.
Yes.
So, and courageous is based on that, but I actually spell it cœur as in heart, courageous, because it's heart-led. Yeah.
Love it.
It's fun. I think for all of us, if we start creating our own language and lexicon for words that we've used in the past, it's just amazing how you can just tweak them slightly and make them your own and give them your own meaning and energy.
So what are some of your favorites on there, other than the ones you've mentioned, Annie?
Oh, do you know, I've gone blank. It's after 10 here. My brain's just, you know.
She's in the UK, guys, so she's, you know, it's late.
But there are a lot.
Well, I love the ones that
check out her website, and she'll probably forward them to you on the website.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'd be happy to do that. I have to transcribe them first, but yes, I'd be happy to do that.
She'll share some. Maybe she'll put it out on her Facebook page as she's transcribing them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sonia's in the UK as well.
You know, when we think about the power of words, right? And I remember reading this thing, and it was talking about, you know, we talk about week, right? Our week, and it's just debilitating, and just calling it like our work week, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, and so I love, like, you know, how business is busyness, as you were saying, because that's all it is. It's like this do kind of mentality of running around. And moving from that place of doing to that place of being, it's the journey, right? And so being able to be isness, that just sounds amazing.
If we could all get more on that page, that would be awesome. Yeah, for sure.
I was going to do something illegal.
We have company.
The dog knows that I'm not looking, so she's going to sit somewhere where she's not.
It's okay. You know me.
I think she's somebody I had a past life with, and she's come back to taunt me.
Could be.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yes. Here we are. Come on. Yes. That's a good one. I always love, don't put should on your shoulders. Right? Or for me, it's like, don't should yourself to death.
That's one of some words that I call smog language. Should, must, ought to, got to. Smog language, because it just gets in the way.
It does. Those are the expectations of others. So they're often projections, right?
Yeah.
And if it's not from others, then it's often us projecting on somebody else, if that's the case. Right?
Yeah. Well, they're all words that the mind comes up with to dictate what we, what
and to keep
doing.
Keep us in control, because if we all do what we should do, must do, ought to do, and got to, we're all doing the same thing, and everybody's happy. Well,
everybody's miserable.
Everybody in the 3D is happy. Let's put it that way.
Feels safe.
They're not even happy. Don't play.
It's true. They're not happy. They think they're happy, but they're really not. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Kaylee you said smog, and she thought of dragon.
Yes, smog.
Hey, Patricia.
Hello.
Welcome.
Well, and it's interesting too, because, we bring it to the human design, and I was just on with Gerald earlier today. We were doing authorities again and just talking about, what it is to actually be, heart-led, because we were talking about the G center, which is the identity center, the love, identity, and direction center. And, what does that mean to really move from this place of, this is going to bring me joy. This is going to be something that I love. This is going to be an experience that's going to really resonate for me, as opposed to all of those, small words.
Yeah.
We're talking about.
I came across a word recently, which you may well know, and I may be way behind the curve, but it's called, and excuse my accent for those who speak German, Vorfreude, which is anticipatory joy.
Oh, nice.
So if we live our life with Vorfreude, or anticipatory joy, it lifts us up. So joy can sometimes feel a bit unobtainable. It's somewhere up there, and I know I should have it. Oops, sorry. But
don't shoot yourself.
And so if we could live with just that anticipation, if we're going on a holiday or we're going to do something exciting, we think about it in advance, and it's really, really good. If we could cultivate more of that, then achieving joy would be just an extra little step beyond. So I came across
the fact that we're creator beings, right? What we put in our mind, what we hold space for, what we ruminate on, right? This is what we bring into our experience.
Yeah.
Right. So we can talk about, and I talk a lot about anticipatory anxiety in my practice, right? And
I would imagine.
Being able to shift that, right? Everybody's like, well, what if? It's like, okay, what if everything worked out? What if everything went beyond your wildest dreams? What if it was perfect, right? In that way that is not conceivable, right? Because I don't think that perfection is something that we can truly conceive. I think
I was going to say, what does perfection mean, Jen? I'm a recovering perfectionist, so I'm conscious of that.
But that's the piece, right? The mind has a definition of what it thinks these words mean. And so even changing our words, it's about changing the mind.
Yeah.
Because truly, on a deeper level, they're just small concepts of something much greater.
Yeah.
So we'll add perfect on the list of smog. Should, must, ought to, got to, add perfect.
Perfect.
Nice to have, but not likely.
Yes. It's an internalized authoritarian. We've been taught very well on how to police ourselves to sweep the imperialist paradigm. Indeed. Kaylee agrees. She says, I get that when I got to see Tanis and Jen. Yeah. Anxiety and excitement can be the same feeling to your body too, for sure. And come across as the same feeling as well.
Well, it's two sides of the same coin. When we look at, nervous system and nervous system response, the activations are going to give us those same kinds of feelings, but the mind interprets everything.
Bye, Sonia. Yeah, and Mark's saying, you were talking about anticipatory joy. Looking at the things in our lives and being grateful for that is one step towards that. It's kind of like finding the joy in those things that are already here, so that it brings us that much closer to where we would love to be in terms of joy. Right? Awesome.
And that's such a great, piece for transition. Like when we look at the idea of blame, right? What I don't have in my experience versus what do I have, right? Where is my focus right now? If I'm in that energy, my focus is not on moving me forward. It's on holding me back. Right? So how can I change that? And gratitude is such a perfect way of doing that. What can I look at right now and have joy for, have gratitude for, have love for, right? What in this moment can bring me away from here and move me to here.
And it's all found in the precious present, isn't it? Because as soon as we're in the past or the future, we're in the old world, the 3D. But being in this moment and having that feeling right here, right now, that's good, is definitely the higher dimensions.
Well, and following those last minute directions, you know, like today for us, Carolina, we were chatting and I was getting, okay, she's supposed to be on the show. And so here we are. And so
I was so calm. I could see it all collapsing around me. And I thought, really calm. I wonder why that is. And then I come on and then I sabotage everything by having my something open on my laptop. Yeah.
Not at all. It's happened to all of us. Happened to all of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jen says community connection and mutual aid are huge for raising consciousness. Absolutely. That's why we started the Twillow Lifestyle Community. This can take so many forms, forming a group that removes invasive species and replacing them with native species. That's part one. So
there's a part two.
Part two. And Kaylee says, yes, community is huge. So important. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, going back to what Carolina was saying, just that idea of, presence and bringing that in with Rose, like this intentionality, right? Can I really be intentional in the present moment with what I'm doing, what I'm choosing, and what experiences I'm allowing myself to hone in on?
And it's very much like a muscle, isn't it? We use this language. We talk about being in the present moment. We talk about joy. We talk about perfection. But they're concepts, as you say, Jen, that go through the mind that separate us. And so just being in the present moment and not having any other feeling other than what you're focusing on right here, right now, is creates a stillness and a space from which we can then choose our next thought. And I find that it's a practice. It's an ongoing practice. I'm way, but I know I can do it when I focus. Yeah. And how I feel. Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, that was it. We were just talking to everyone else.
Well, just thinking about, again, coming back to this energy right now, right? That hunger energy is looking always at not the present, right? Yeah. What else can I bring in? What else can I do? What else do I need, right? As opposed to that present moment energy that is all about adventure. Right here, right now, what do I want to do? What can I bring in? What can I experience? Right. So this, as you were talking, it was bringing me back to that energy and really being able to be mindful of what does that look like in our day.
Another word, heartful versus mindful.
I love
beautiful. It. Beautiful, heartful. My heart is full because I am heartful.
Empty mind,
beautiful.
Full heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So we have another part 3 here. Part 2 and 3. I had 2 up on the thing, and here's part 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, we can get caught up in some of the political stuff that you're referring to. But if we go back to the blame piece of the card that we brought, that's some of that stuff is about the blaming of others for some of these things. Not that not that it's right? It's not a judgment as to whether what they're doing is correct or not, or whether it's good for us as a whole in terms of the political things. But I think if we can, it really is that inner standing that you were referring to, right? Really understanding our inner selves helps us to see reality for what it is and not be in the blame of the politics and all of that. Because when we're living in that peace, that's just another aspect of sort of the drama triangle, right? In terms of that. Yeah, absolutely. We've got a lot of problems as a human race. I'm not saying we don't. I think that's definitely an issue that's coming up for many right now. And there's a lot of things that are coming to the surface because that's how we clear dark stuff, right? We bring it into the light. And I think that's what some of this stuff is doing, is bringing it into the light. I think that the invitation there is to not live there, right? Because we're politically, yes, we need to know what's going on. But if we live in that, then we're just bringing our own vibration down, you know? So like for me, I choose not to watch the news every day. Because for me, I notice when I watch the news that it brings my vibration down a little bit because of the political environment of what's happening right now, you know? But that's my personal choice. It's just one of those tools that I use, right? We talked about tools. So I think that we're quite capable of stepping into whatever our heart needs in that moment. And, you know, as long as we're using our tools to create that equilibrium between the density that we may bring in through media and whatnot, and bringing in the light to shed light on that and how we want to interpret the world. Because really our reality is our perception of whatever is happening without. So I think that's sort of the invitation there, is to make those choices, because that is right, heart versus head.
And if I might share an additional tool that is very similar to yours but slightly different, I zoom out. I become the observer. So I just look at the world and I see it as our 26,000 year culmination where humanity is at a choice point. Which way do we go? Do we go this way, the natural organic route that's led by this, or do we go the man-made, ego-driven AI collective? We know that one, that way. So if for me, if I can stand back and look at it in that perspective, I just see that all the hubris and all the not so good things that are coming up in the world at the moment are helping humanity come to a choice. Do I wish to be part of the solution and follow my heart and create the compassionate world? Or do I wish to get caught up in this and feed my energy into it? And I will be consciously or unconsciously participating in perpetuating that direction. So for me, if I can see it in that perspective, then I can feel empathy for those that are suffering, but I don't have to, as you say, be of the world but not in it.
Right.
So you witness it and you feel for it, but you don't have to actually go into it. You're the observer. And then recognize that humanity needs this chaos for people that are still undecided as to whether they're going that way or that way, to make a decision. And when people, like Gandhi said, when be the change that you want to see in the world. But what was the other thing? Oh, it's just gone. It's about when we have peace within ourselves, then we'll have peace within the world. So when we're all focused on our internal state and we can find that heart-led peace, strength, space within us, then it will automatically, through mass consciousness, spread out around the world, and then the world will come into its own balance and equilibrium. And so I think we've all got our own tools, but that's just part of my toolkit.
Well, and Jen, you and I talk about that a fair bit, being that observer.
Well, and what was coming, through what you were both saying is, we know on some level what's going on in the world. Whether we watch the news or not, we can feel that there's these energies that need to come forward. But we don't have capacity to actually necessarily go and stop a war or to go and do something else. But what we do have capacity for is, as Carolina, you were saying, working on our own energy in our own space and being able to hold space for clearing and for peace and for coming to that within ourselves. And as we hold space for that, we hold space for that within us, but we also hold space for that to be present for those around us.
Yeah.
Right? And that expands out and expands out.
Well, and that always comes back to, Wayne Dyer said that one high vibration person can raise the vibration of 20,000 people. So, looking inward and dealing with the inner stuff is really how we change the world.
Mm-hmm.
So do your own healing, right? Raise your vibration. Do what your heart's telling you to do, what you love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do that introspection, because we just tend to go off on tangents and just do what is expected of us. The more we can look inside and figure out what it is that we do want, who we are, that's how we start to do that work and move forward.
But I love, Carolina, I'm going to go back to it again, that busyness versus be-isness, because I think that we busy ourselves with so much of things that are outside of our control and are not things that we have any connection or ability to do anything with.
Yeah.
And that takes over, and then we're not focusing on being. Right? And allowing ourselves to come home to ourselves and be in that place that actually does have power to do something.
Yeah. And Hypnocity, let peace begin with me. Absolutely. Definitely. Awesome. $144,000. Nice.
So I know Kaylee gave me the don't forget a while ago there.
She did.
For the action card for our week. So this is Seeds from the Sacred Feminine. Let's see what they got for us this time. Oh, okay. Ooh. Can't make this stuff up. Quest for a new vision.
There we go. Absolutely. We are all on a quest for a new vision.
So give me a second and I will just find it. In here.
And what we're seeing right now is just the remnants of the phoenix, that is exploding to die to create the space for the new to come in. So this chaos is just the example, is just the exemplar of the fact that the phoenix is throwing up all the remnants of the old, so that we can see what we wish to take from it and what we wish to take forward and what we will leave behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And really, humans won't change unless there's an impetus to do it. So some of the chaos is that impetus to change.
Absolutely.
Ready?
We're ready.
Okay, here we go. You have forgotten that the sacred feminine wisdom of your ancestors lives within you. It is time to unravel the training that keeps you from connecting with that wisdom. Make time, grandchild. Disrupt your daily routine. Your steps are faltering because you are deaf to the whispers of your spirit. To hear your spirit, you must get quiet. Spend time alone seeking the inner world of the sacred feminine. It is time for a vision quest. A traditional vision quest is a 2 to 4 day fast on the land with nothing but you and the natural elements. No distractions, no weapons, no shelter. A vision quest brings you into contact with the natural world and teaches you what you need to know. Remember this ancient wisdom. You're being called to the land. You're being called to the land to quest a new vision for your life. Any amount of time in nature will help you. You must dream a new dream before the dream can become real. Listen, dream, for much beauty lies on the horizon.
Beautiful. Yeah, we can't make this stuff up. It always gets to exactly what we're talking about every week. every week.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. So do you have anything coming up, Carolina?
Other than bed, no.
No.
Sorry.
Bed is a good thing. Sleep, rest,
Perfect.
self-care. We
were
like
you,
that.
Were you ready for the irreverent English humour tonight? I'm sorry. Oh, today. Sorry.
Absolutely. Love it.
It's
But
been
thank you
fun.
for asking. But my pilot is coming up for the Sacred Bridge Walkers, that I will be hoping to find some committed way showers looking to embody 5D. And that's and if anybody knows of anyone who'd like to come on an exploratory journey with me, that would be fantastic. Other than that, it is just bed.
Check out her deets down below.
Oh right, okay, yes.
They're in
Thanks.
the stuff underneath our video. So check that out. Kaylee likes your card.
Aw, I liked it too.
Very beautiful.
Jen, what have you got going on this week?
I had Gerald earlier, and so we did that. And then I don't have anything new coming up as far as lives go until next Monday. I did do a whole revamp on my site. So if anybody wants to go in and just get their charts and figure out some info, you can now just go right there and it's going to give you a ton of information, and there's a bunch of free stuff you can download. So have at her, have fun.
In the deets.
Yeah.
That's my job. I do the pointing. That's awesome. So yeah, so for me, we have those of you that are local, I'm doing a Reiki 1 this Sunday, if you're interested in that, so from 10 to 6. What else have we got going on? Lots of self-care for me coming up. And so that's awesome. Looking forward to that. And yeah, so not lots for me this week either until next Monday. We got some self-care. I got some yoga going on. We got that. We've got, that kind of stuff. Oh yes, this is true. I will be on Kaylee's show next Monday. Thank you for reminding me. It is in the calendar. Woo Woo Wonderment. We'll be hanging out there. And next Monday, there we go, at 8 p.m. So come and join us there. It'll be exciting. I think we have quite a variety of topics that we've discussed, so we'll be finalizing that, I would imagine, tonight.
Just pull it out of a hat.
That's it. Yes, and we do have enlightenment if you're local. That's tonight at 7, so we could see you soon if you know where I'm at. So I think that brings us to our close. Any final words?
Well, I've really enjoyed being here, and I'm very grateful for the very spontaneous invitation, and apologies for the various types of interruption and disruption that I brought along with me. But it's been a joy. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you, both of you.
We're super honored to have you. So thank you so much for joining us. And no worries about any of the interruptions. They always happen.
I've had my dog start barking. Somebody's decided it's time to run the vacuum, even though they know that I'm on a live. So, life happens.
Life is as usual.
This is live podcast, guys. It's a training. It's for us to be flexible and release that which no longer serves. So it is all good. Oh, there we go. We're having a request to have you back, Carolina.
Oh,
very nice. Thank you. Great conversation.
Agreed.
I agree. So let's figure that out at some point. And peace and love to you as well, Mark. Look forward to the next one. Look forward to having you again. Take care. Feel better, okay? So that brings us to the end of our show for this week. So we're wishing you all a wonderful week with tons of love as we do our little hearts. And
Beautiful.
we shall see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye now.
Bye.